Hello, my friends. Welcome to Lean and Clean with Fitness Chef Christine. I am Christine, your host, and today I am joined by Registered Holistic Nutritionist April, and she's going to tell us all about what she has been up to because she has a new website and she is out there helping lots of ladies feel better. So tell us, how did you come about this and where are you taking it?
Definitely. Thanks so much for having me. Let's get right into my story. So, how did I end up in the place that I am today, where I'm helping women regulate their nervous system to have better energy and better stress resilience? And that actually came from when I started working as a nutrition coach for weight loss. Specifically, is a fat loss program. So, I was helping women achieve such amazing results on the scale and actually seeing all of these kinds of like number changes, metabolic changes, the conditions, the symptoms, all of those things started to disappear when we changed the food intake. So that really fascinated me. Before that, I was somebody who was counting calories, doing the macros, doing all of the different kinds of weight management things, and like eating like 600 calories a day, working out 6 days a week, just realizing like, hey, why isn't none of this working? So I'm sure, yeah, lots of people can relate to that we've tried a lot of the things and we're not actually seeing much results. So once I found a program that was being facilitated that really got the results, there was one thing that I noticed a major difference in pretty much the people who were really successful on this program and the people who had a bit more challenge with not being able to meet their weight loss goals. And I found that struggle in the mindset and nervous system regulation. So when we're coming from a dysregulated nervous system, we're looking for ease, we're looking convenience, and we're looking for things that don't take a lot of time or energy. And when we don't have a lot of time or energy to give because we're so overstimulated or just overworked in general, it's really hard to prioritize actually making those conscious decisions. Or you might find yourself self-sabotaging a lot more often than you would like to, right? We know what we want to do. We know that we should do it. We actually know how to do it, but we're not doing it still, right?
Yes, and that's the case for so many ladies that I talk to. What you just said right there is exactly it. It's not like it's rocket science and we can't figure it out and we don't know how to get there, but it's the getting there part. You might get started and then you fall off the wagon and you restart and just becomes this cycle. Or you go to the extreme, like you said, eating 600 calories a day where you're barely surviving. And one of the
Yeah.
things that we talk about here a lot is fueling our bodies, making sure that we are, we can do the activities that we want to do into our old age and not just exist. It's not just about being in a bikini. It's about feeling good and looking good and mentally feeling good. And so I love the direction that you're going. Sorry, keep going.
Yeah, no, I love that. I love a little bit of back and forth. And yeah, definitely there's a lot more that goes into weight loss than just the food that you're putting into your mouth, right? The food that you're putting in your mouth is also fueling your mindset, which is fueling your weight loss. And we have this whole cycle of kind of how what we're putting in is influencing us on a level that is not just metabolic.
Right.
Yeah, I've been working coaching people in the fat loss, and then I have pivoted now and started my own business as I was working inside of a clinic. And now I've started my own business helping people with nervous system regulation through holistic nutrition.
And
So,
online, is it not?
yes, all online.
Anywhere in the world they can come to you.
Yeah, exactly. So that is the goal is pretty much to reach a wider audience and touch on some of these pieces to help people make that easier for themselves. I'm trying to create more ease and alignment in people's lives to make the things that they want to do easier. Because our nervous system is dysregulated, we're pretty much having to stop and fight ourselves multiple points throughout our day or create that level of safety over and over. We're constantly telling ourselves like, okay, everything is okay, or like trying to get back on the horse. We always hear that, okay, I'll start again on Monday. This is just another week. I'll start again on Monday. And then Monday rolls around and you've actually ended up doing maybe a little bit more quote unquote damage on the weekend than we had intended.
Yeah, I fully understand what you're saying. As a lifetime yo dieter, before I finally figured it all out, that was my life. Monday roll around, okay, let's try this again. Let's try this again. And it was a mindset thing. It was,
Mhm.
I felt like I was never going to be successful. Like I could never get over that hurdle. And now I make it so easy for myself because I just take all the, as a chef, I want to create delicious meals. I want to create all these things. But from a practical standpoint, I now pretty much eat the same thing every day for a week and then I move on to the next week. And because then I don't have to constantly think about what it is I'm going to eat. So it was more of a mental thing than a physical thing. I needed to find that balance. And I love that you're helping people do that. And I noticed that you talked about helping women who are so burned out and overwhelmed. It's so easy to get there. So maybe what are some of the practical steps that somebody could take if they're feeling just like right now, they're just feeling so negative towards how they look and they're just at a point where they think they can't get there. Like, what do
I
you
would say start small. Like it's not about making these massive changes overnight. It's really about the small things that feel like you're not doing anything along the way that start to compound. Because when we are most consistent, then we'll actually see more results over a long period of time. Even if we're doing like just 1% every single day, you realize that after about 3 months, you're almost going to be 100% there. So if we were to go all the way in though and give it like the full, like at least 75, 100% for an entire week straight, you're much more likely to get burned out and not actually achieve some of those goals that you're looking at.
Right.
Uh,
And I love that because so many times you work with a coach and they're like, okay, change everything. You can start working out every 5 days a week and start walking 10,000 steps a day. And you're like, it's a lot. And
Yeah,
so I love the baby step approach because it can get so overwhelming. And in a world where we're already running 100 miles an hour, adding more to that can seem so, I don't know, it just gets y'all hyped up. And in the
it does.
beginning, I feel like you start out strong and then just go down the cliff. So I love that 1% because that seems so doable.
Yeah, yeah. And it has to be fun and exciting. Just like you said, if you were to eat something different, something completely different every single day of the week, that's taking actually a lot of energy to try to prep that food, plan for it, do the shopping over and over, like all of the different little things you have to think into it, right? So it is. I have a very similar method to you. Once a week, I go out, do a major shop, grab all of the things I need to repeat a couple meals throughout the week, even if it's just repeating similar ingredients, right? If you can cook up like 4 or 6 chicken breast at the beginning of the week and use that in soups and then in salads and then make like something else with it. There's lots of things you can do, right? Just having that base ingredient makes all the difference.
Yeah, I love it. And I love how you talked about because I'm a nosy body, so I checked out all your stuff. I love how you talk about from striving, from just surviving to thriving. Like you don't want to just exist. You want to feel like everything is going your way.
Yes, exactly.
How long does that take? Like how long do you typically work with a client?
I work with clients from anywhere to 1 month to a year plus. Some of the clients that I have worked with have actually been around with me for over 2 years now. So some people, it's like a real quite a long journey to actually integrate a lot of this information, especially when we are taking it slow. Sometimes that's the benefit or kind of vice versa of taking it slow is you get that longer period of time to really connect with your coach. You learn the ins and outs of this person's lifestyle. You learn their food preferences. You learn what their family dynamics are like. Like we're taking it all into account to create a one-on-one plan specifically for this person. And it also, we're looking at some of the different symptoms that maybe aren't just easy to categorize as one thing here, one thing there. We're trying to actually bring some of those symptoms down so you can feel more confident in your body, feel happier in your body, so that life just comes easier, just like you said.
Really like that. I really do. I think that's really, it's important to look at the whole person. And I feel like that's where our healthcare has gone wrong. You go in and you tell them, I just shared with you, I had this UTI. I went in, I told them I'm having terrible abdominal pain. And they're like, could be your appendix. And I said, no, I had that out already. Like, and he went through this whole thing. It could just be that you need to go to the bathroom more. No, I'm having a lot of pain. I made a prescription. And then 3 days later, I felt worse, not better. I was like, something's happening. My muscles and my joints hurt. Well, it turns out I was allergic to the medication they gave me. And so it was just a big cycle of more medicines, different medicines. It was terrible.
Yeah.
Nobody addressed the underlying issue of, okay, how am I going to stop getting these UTIs? How am I going to stop feeling horrible? And so I feel like if it's a more integrative approach or a more, you look at the total package, people are going to have a much higher success rate of feeling better over the long term. Because you can go pretty much anywhere and lose 20 pounds. And then if you don't know how to keep it off or you're not going to stick with that stringent plan, it's right back plus more.
Yes,
And
yes, that is exactly it.
eating, it is so, ugh, you feel horrible about yourself. So I love your long-term approach. And it may seem intimidating at first when people say, oh, it might take a year or 2 years. But I think it's very comforting in the fact that you're well supported. So I think that's great. Now, do you
Mhm.
only work one-on-one or do you have a group session as well?
Yes, I'm one-on-one right now, but my group sessions are launching in January. So we're taking the fall to finish curating those. Also, I know that after Christmas time, that's when we all feel the most burnt out. It's that whole Christmas buzz just keeps our energy up. We're all flowing. It's like good vibes. And then the first, second week of January, we all hit a slump. So I'm going to try and scoop us back in right there, have some stress relief and some build up some resilience as we go into the year ahead.
Love
So
it.
yeah, and definitely something that I did want to mention as well.
Yeah.
I was talking about how stress can also impact your weight just in terms of the water retention, the inflammation, like the chronic stress and how that can make your weight loss more difficult is something to be said for.
For sure. I know that when my cortisol levels are through the roof, I get this crazy urge to eat everything in the world.
Yeah.
It's, you crave sugar and you just want that quick comfort. And yeah, that obviously has a lot to do with it. And when I'm really stressed, I don't make as much time for exercise as I should, which is
Mhm.
opposite of what you should do. If you're feeling
Yeah.
stressed, you should walk, you should get that exercise in. But that's not our go-to. Usually it's, I just want to feel better right now, which
Yes.
then later turns into a problem. I just think that's great. And tell me what your website name is.
My website is alignwithapril.ca.
Okay, cool. Because you're in Canada. I forgot to
Yes,
mention
I'm
that.
up in Canada, Vancouver.
Yes, but the fact that we're on the internet means we can work with anybody anywhere, and I love that. So you've got this new website, and how can someone get in touch with you? Do they go to the website and set an appointment, or how does that work?
Yeah, so you can head on over to the website and you can book a free 15-minute call with me. Even if you just want to chat, you're not looking to become a client, I'll try and give you any tips that I can for the minute there. I've also got the one-on-one coaching that you can purchase. But honestly, find me over on Instagram. That is where I've been hanging out the most
Okay.
recently. And yeah, there will be some fun blogs coming soon as well that'll touch on these topics a lot more in detail.
Send me all that information so I can share it with our audience. It will be in the show notes before the show airs so everybody can find you and hopefully work with you and get your assistance because it sure makes a big difference when you're working with somebody who knows what they're talking about.
Yeah, it sure does. You'd
Saves
rather
a lot, saves a lot of heartache.
yeah, it does. Saves a lot of time and energy.
It has been a pleasure to have you on. Thank you so much. And to my audience, I thank you all for hanging out with us. I hope you got some great value out of the session. And if you would please make sure you subscribe because it is free. Make sure you leave us a comment. If you have any questions, I will pass them on to April and we will all stay connected. So I thank you again. I pray for each and every one of you that your health gets better every day and that every year makes you feel more fantastic. So April, thank you. Anything, any last thoughts you want to share with everybody?
No, I just want to say that it's possible, right? You can do it. It's just a matter of time
Yes,
and the right techniques.
I love that. Thank you again. Keep in touch with me. I will let you know when this airs so you can spread the word.
Awesome. That sounds good.
All right, my friend, take care.
Okay, thank you. Bye.